Hey 5th graders, I know 10.4 was a little tricky, so we're going to go over multi-step measurement problems together. Okay, when we solve multi-step measurement problems, we are going to follow 3 main steps. Not all the time, but most of the time. An ice cream parlor donated 6 containers of ice cream to a local elementary school. Each container holds 3 gallons of ice cream. If each student is served 1 cup of ice cream, how many students can be served? Okay, so first step, we're going to record the information we are given. And I know most of you are actually not going to record it, so at least underline it. Don't just try to think about all of it in your head. So there are 6 containers of ice cream, and each container holds 3 gallons of ice cream. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. Six containers of ice cream. Each container holds 3 gallons of ice cream. So instead of just not knowing what to do with these numbers, now they make a little bit more sense. There's 6 containers of ice cream, and each one holds 3. So to figure out how many ice cream containers there are, we need to multiply it together. So we're going to find the total amount. 6 times 3 is 18. Now we're going to convert from gallons to cups because they don't want to know how many gallons there are. We know there are 18 gallons of ice cream, but we want to know how many cups we can serve. Each student will get 1 cup. So 18 gallons equals how many cups? There are 4 gallons in 1 gallon, so 18 gallons equals 72 quarts. There are 2 pints in 1 quart, so 72 quarts equals 144 pints. There are 2 cups in 1 pint, so 144 pints equals 288 cups. So in all of those situations, they're multiplying because they're going from a bigger unit, gallons, to a smaller unit, cups. So they are multiplying each time. So they're multiplying 4 by the 18 to get 72. Then they're multiplying by 2 to get 144. Then they're multiplying by 2 because there's 2 cups in 1 pint to get 288. So 288 students can be served 1 cup of ice cream if there are 18 gallons altogether. A cargo truck weighs 8,750 pounds. The weight limit for a certain bridge is 5 tons. How many pounds of cargo can be added to the truck before it exceeds the weight limit for the bridge? So my first step is going to be look at the information. And the important information in this one is that the cargo truck right now weighs 8,750 pounds, and the weight limit is 5 tons. Step 2, for this one, I need to convert. So I'm going to convert so that I have the same units. I'm going to change 5 tons to pounds, and I know 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, and that's going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, so I need to multiply, and 5 times 2,000 is 10,000. So now I know that the bridge can hold 10,000 pounds, and right now the cargo truck weighs 8,750 pounds. So if I subtract those two, I can figure out how many pounds of cargo can be added. How many pounds of cargo can be added before it exceeds the weight limit? So I'm going to do 10,000 minus 8,750. And I'm running out of room, but you already know how to subtract that, so you can subtract that and find your answer. A plumber uses 16 inches of tubing to connect each washing machine in a laundry to the water source. He wants to install 18 washing machines. How many yards of tubing will he need? Okay, so first I'm going to find my information. A plumber uses 16 inches to connect each washing machine. So 16 inches equals one machine. He wants to install 18 washing machines. Then, read this part very carefully. It says, how many yards of tubing will he need? So the first time I read this, I just kind of multiplied 16 and 18 to find how many inches he would need for 18 washing machines. And it's very easy to overlook that word, but it says how many yards. So we need to convert it after we find it to yards. So step 2 is to convert, to find my answer. So I'll write calculate. So step 2, if there's 16 inches in one machine, I need to figure out how many inches there are in 18 machines. Blank inches. So to find that answer, I'm going to have to multiply 18 times 16. Then, once I find that answer, I can do step 3, which, last but not least, I will convert. And I'm going to convert inches to yards to figure out how many yards of tubing he will need. So once you multiply 16 times 18 to find how many inches he needs, then you're going to convert however many inches that is to how many yards that is. Using your conversions. Okay, on these last two, number 3 and number 4, I'm going to give you hints, but I'm not going to write them down and show you the answers because I want you to actually listen to my voice instead of just skipping through and copying down what I copy down. So Larry has 9 gallons of paint. He uses 10 quarts to paint his kitchen and 3 gallons to paint his living room. How many pints of paint will be left? So he starts out with 9 gallons of paint. I'll just write down a little bit, but I'm not going to write down your answers. Larry starts out with 9 gallons of paint. So step 1, I'm writing down the information. He uses 10 quarts to paint his kitchen and 3 gallons to paint his living room. And the answer is going to be in pints. How many pints of paint will be left? Okay, so if he has 9 gallons to start with, and then he uses 3 quarts and 3 gallons, I need to make some conversions before I start solving this. So I first would convert this 9 gallons to a different unit of measurement. Maybe convert them all to pints since you're going to be dealing with pints, or maybe you want to just convert it to quarts right now and then convert it to pints later. But either way, you're going to need to convert this 9 gallons to a smaller unit, so you're going to have to multiply it by something. So if you converted it to quarts, you could convert it to quarts, subtract what you've used so far to paint the kitchen and the living room, so maybe 10 quarts, and then subtract this 3 gallons, but you're going to have to convert that one as well. And then once you find your answer from your subtraction problem, then you're going to have to transfer that to pints. Katisha is practicing for a marathon by running around a track that is 440 yards long. Yesterday she ran around the track 20 times. How many miles did she run? So instead of doing what I would intuitively want to do, which is just 440 times 20, and put that as my answer, that is going to be how many yards she ran. And they don't ask me how many yards she ran, they ask me how many miles did she run. So after I find that answer, I'm going to need to convert it to miles to answer the question, how many miles did she run? So don't forget to use your measurements and convert that one. Okay, now that you have finished numbers 1 through 4 on the reteach lesson, you are ready to go back to 10.4. I want you to do just the even numbers, so there should be only 3 problems that you need to do on that page. And here's the beautiful puzzle that I finally finished with Lou. He helped a little.